I'm Evan Thomason for This Week in Santa Clarita. Right now I am joined with Mike Fleming from the city's Arts and Events office. Mike, you are wearing dark sunglasses, which can mean only one thing: the return of our summer Concerts in the Park series.
Yeah, I figured that would be appropriate. I'm getting real excited about it. The weather's turned nice already. It's going to be a glorious summer. We all know that. We live in Southern California,
Absolutely.
and Santa Clarita especially. But yeah, summer concerts are right around the corner. July 10th is when it all starts. Kicks off with a great Latin acoustic guitar jazz band called Incendio. Very exciting sounds. And then it goes successively for 8 weekends, and it wraps up on August 28th.
And this is continually one of the more popular event series that the city does. It's very much to look forward to.
It is. It's an amazing thing. First of all, it's free, so the price is right. But it's a great family event. Every year I'm amazed at how many people show up, and everybody loves to come there early and set up their lawn chairs and their blankets, and a lot of them bring their own coolers with picnic lunches and that sort of thing. So it's a great event. There's always good music guaranteed. So.
Right. And it is during the hot summer months sometimes, and people shouldn't be dissuaded from that, though, because as 7 o'clock rolls around and the sun goes down, it does cool off.
Oh yeah, it always does. And a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll bring umbrellas and/or an easy up. We just ask everybody to take those down about 10 minutes before showtime, which is always at 7 p.m. on a Saturday night. And everybody cooperates, and then, as you say, it cools down, and it makes for a glorious evening.
And we have two months of music, a pretty diverse, eclectic group of musicians this year. We have everything from classic rock to the Latin fusion band that you just mentioned. What else are we going to see?
Well, if you like soul music, the group that we are bringing back, we had them 2 years ago, Darrell Coleman Band, and Darrell was one of the winners of a past Star Search. A great soul review. Ultimately about a 12-piece band, good vocals. They cover Motown hits and on up through modern rock music or soul music. We've also got Danny Seraphin, who was one of the founding members of Chicago, has a band called the California Transit Authority, and they're just an amazing high-powered group. Great music, and of course they'll bring back some of the Chicago hits with that. Got the Zoot Suit Review. We haven't had those guys for many years. Great 50s big band sound, a la Las Vegas acts. Brian Setzer's music. It's a very exciting summer. And then the one that I'd like to mention, because we've been getting requests for many years of Neil Diamond tribute, so that's exactly what we're doing. It's a group called Fantastic Diamond, and the lead singer is fantastic. So all those Neil Diamond fans will have their Neil Diamond fix this summer. So.
Perfect. And I know that one of last year's most attended, well-attended bands is coming back this year for the finale, and that's the Journey tribute band, Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah, we're excited to have them back. In fact, that's how we're going to close out the summer in the final show on August 28th. It should be a big one, so for that one, I recommend people get there very early, get set up, because they have a regional following as well as local, and they are terrific.
And speaking of getting there early, what are some of the tricks to live by or rules to live by? It's hard to imagine that, seeing the crowds last year, that there's anybody who has not attended concerts in the park. But for those who haven't, what are a few tips?
Well, there's limited parking at Central Park. Most people understand that. So if you can get there early, you will most likely find parking. If not, there's parking on Bouquet Avenue. Some even park at Saugus High School. Everybody seems to find their way there. So if you are going to bring a cooler, you might want to have one with wheels, or put all your food in a backpack, and also the chairs. Make sure that you're mobile enough so that, because even if you find a parking space, it might be quite a ways away. So you don't want to be carting too much luggage to get to your place. And you certainly don't want to show up at 5 minutes till 7, because you'll be looking for a parking place for a long time. So, and if you come early, bring sunscreen.
Which is very good advice. You mentioned people bringing coolers, which they're definitely allowed to do, bring their own food to the park. But there will be food on site, I understand, provided by one of our partners this year, Whole Foods.
Whole Foods Market is coming in, and we're very excited to have them as one of our sponsors. And last year we started a tradition for the first time, and that is that we would provide some food service at the park. We also, of course, have our vendor that's at the park every year. But Whole Foods will be bringing in special menus for each respective group that comes in, kind of thematically tied into whatever the kind of music is. So.
Right. And speaking of community partners and some of our partners that allow us to put this event on, I know there are a few more.
Century 21 Real Estate is one of our sponsors as well, and also Snow Orthodontics, which is a local dental office here in the Santa Clarita Valley.
Okay, well, Mike, I want to thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
Don't forget to head out. The concert summer series begins on July 10th, goes all the way to August 28th at Central Park, starting at 7 p.m. on Saturdays. For This Week in Santa Clarita, I'm Evan Thomason.